Hi, Riley. Do you want to come back in? Just close the door there behind you. And you can just take a seat. How was your break?
It was good.
Yeah, did you get some water and stuff?
Yeah, went for a little, walk around just to take the opportunity to kind of, and reconnect with myself and all that.
Nice. Are you feeling comfortable here? Like, where you are, like everything we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it is a difficult subject in some ways, but at the same time, it's something that we're going to encounter, and it's something that I'm not going to say that we have to get comfortable with, but we have to be okay with, I guess.
Yeah. If there's anything that I can do to make changes, like make you feel comfortable, like just let me know.
I will for sure.
You're welcome. So we're going to start off with a question that is, if there was any signs of abuse going on in the house, what kind of steps do you think you'd take?
I would definitely want to let like a supervisor know, and then I'd fill out the form 1, I think it is. Okay. If there was, those signs, and then an investigation would be started into it, and like the law enforcement would be brought in, and they would be investigated to try to figure out what's going on. As well, I would want to offer any kind of supports to children, especially Kara, that they might need. So whether that's like a school counselor or a teacher that they need to talk to, or if there's anything deeper, like if they have to go to a therapist or whatever, just to let them know that, those supports are out there and they're available, and there's, resources out there to help them get through what they've been going through.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that you would, with Kara's social worker, do you think you'd work together with her to support Kara?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Obviously the social worker will know her a little bit better. And at the same time, we'd be able to work together to provide her those supports and like help her figure out what she needs to, not deal with, but understand what happened and how she can move forward and how she can still have like a successful life in future.
Yeah. I do know that this is about Kara, but also with her brother. Do you think you would help with him also? Because like they must be really close. Because in images they were together.
Yeah.
So would you maybe do something to support both of them? Like, do you think they would go to the same place, or would you separate them maybe?
I feel like keeping siblings together is always the better option, because I feel like if she's been abused, there's the potential that the brother will have been abused as well, and I don't feel like separating them would be helpful to either one of them. Okay. I would definitely want to offer him the same supports and help him learn how to support his sister as well. Like help teach them how to support each other, because if they've been through a similar, experience, then that could be really helpful for the two of them to be together and help each other grow and move on from this experience.
Yeah, definitely. So I did talk about your skills, like asked you about your skills earlier, but when you were on your break, did you come up with maybe any other skills that you could have used, not just with Kara, but like with both of them maybe?
Yeah, actually, thinking back, using silence as a skill could be really useful for them, because it gives them that opportunity to speak, and it lets them know that I'm there and I'm listening, as well as making sure that I'm keeping like a relaxed and like calm body, like making sure my body language is opening, and it makes them feel comfortable and willing to.
Yeah, you definitely want them to feel comfortable, because you want them to open up to you, because that's what you're trying to do, is trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, what's happening at home. Because like maybe her mother might not be in the best relationship, but her kids can't tell her that and help her with that. So it's also difficult for the mother also. Are you still feeling good about all this?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it is it can be a difficult subject to bring up, but at the same time, it is one that we'll encounter later. So being familiar with it and how to manage like your own feelings regarding it is definitely a good, skill to be able to do.
Yeah. So with separating them, I know what you said it'd be difficult to separate them, but maybe even just getting Kara to go to the aunts maybe for a weekend. Mm-hmm. Do you think you would maybe push her to do that, or like talk to her about just going there for a weekend, just to get away and maybe talk to somebody?
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like that could be beneficial to Kara, because even though I said that keeping them together might be best, at the same time, her brother seems to have an influence over her, due to the way he kept like knocking at, like bumping her with his arm and trying to talk over her and tell her like, no, we want to go to mom's house. So I feel like she might be a little bit intimidated and a little bit less likely to want to talk if her brother's around.
So you think that the brother, that was my next question. So you do think that the brother is pushing her to say nothing, really? Like, trying to be like, don't say that, like, we don't want them to leave and blah, blah. Like, they want to be with their mother, obviously, but...
I definitely feel like the brother is influencing her in some way, whether she's scared of him or, scared of what he might say to her mom or her mom's boyfriend. But kind of going back to the last question, I definitely feel that separating them for a weekend might not be the worst thing.
Yeah.
If she were to go to her aunt's, it's a place that she lives and she's comfortable in. Yeah. So it might help her to open up, and like without her brother there, she might feel like she's in a safer place to, talk freely without him doing something or saying something.
Exactly. Do you think this is interfering with their outside world, like school or friends, or going over friends? Because I know if, I don't know personally, but just watching the video and her being so stuck to her brother, but also like kind of not wanting to talk about anything, going to a friend's house might trigger her maybe, just because seeing their parents so good together. How do you think that they would feel like?
I feel like their situation definitely has the potential to affect their lives outside of it and like moving forward in their lives. If there was abuse happening to Kara, it might lead her to develop different behaviors. Like she could become really withdrawn and not wanting to speak to anybody, not wanting to do anything. Or she could become the opposite and like act out and try to find new things to cover up the way that she's feeling and the way that she's being treated.
Yeah.
And especially with school, it could really affect how she does in school. It could affect her grades and especially her attitude towards school. Yeah. She might not want to go anymore.
And they're young children, so like that's understandable for like their actions and behaviors and stuff. But it must be really hard for her just with everything that's going on and trying to just be a normal kid, but can't because of stuff going on at home.
I definitely feel like it's a really tough situation that she's been put into, and it's hard for me to relate because, like I said, I haven't had those experiences that she is having, so I can't imagine like how it must be for her to try to live this normal life and try to have friends and try to go to school when something like that could be happening.
Yeah, it is very difficult. What do you think the mother would be like if you were to interview her, to talk to her about this is what your kids are telling me? How do you think she'd feel?
I feel like she could have a couple different reactions depending on her relationship with the boyfriend. If her relationship with her kids is really, really strong, stronger than her boyfriend, she could be very upset and she could be angry and hurt that, someone who's supposed to care for her could be doing this to her kids.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if she were, you know, in a position where she was being abused, she might try to deny it or say, you know, like that's not happening, to try to cover up her own feelings and her own experiences that what he's been doing to her, if there was any kind of abuse happening there.
Do you think you would get them to talk to like a therapist or something? Like go see somebody about what's happening?
The mom or the kids? Or both?
All of them. Yeah, just like after the situation, like just hearing that her children have been being abused and maybe she doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But also if there was any signs or wasn't any signs, would you get them to go see somebody just to talk about?
I feel like
to build a better relationship, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like, especially if she didn't know that this was happening, hearing that it was happening could come as a major shock to her.
Yeah.
And she might need some help, working through those emotions and feelings she's no doubt going to have. So definitely going to, some kind of therapy could be very beneficial. Whether she decides to go by herself or with her kids.
Yeah.
Because there might be some kind of trust problems happening within them at that point. So there might be a need for them to learn how to talk to each other again and learn how to better communicate with each other, and also to help build that trust within the family again.
And I feel like it would definitely help the brother and sister too, because if just trying to get their bond back together.
Yeah.
Because in the video it shows that he doesn't want her to talk about anything, or he interrupts her when he's talking and stuff. So maybe just getting that bond back and trying to be regular kids again.
Yeah.
Enjoying life. Would you suggest them joining anything like sports or?
I feel like, definitely joining something could be very helpful for them.
Yeah.
If not, like even if it's just to help get their minds off of things for a little while and help them feel like kids again.
Yes.
And as well as it might be helpful for them to meet new people and be trying different things and just have something to fall back on when, they're feeling overwhelmed or stressed and just need to take a minute.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about everything that we've talked about today?
I'm feeling pretty good. It would be definitely help. It would be nice to know what the outcome of their situation was. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like we've, kind of developed good plans for them if we were to be in charge. So that kind of helps those feelings a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and you definitely talked a lot about, what you would do if you were in that position and not just seeing it over a computer. Because it can be very hard just hearing things over a screen and not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
So going back to a couple of things, just how do you feel about everything that you've seen on, the video?
Of the kids, or, the whole images in general?
Of the kids. Were they healthy looking?
They looked to be healthy. They were eating McDonald's, but that's not really, you can't really determine how they are, because it could have been a treat, so who knows? They looked healthy. They didn't have, from what I could see, any physical injuries or anything like that. No bruises, or they didn't have any casts on or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you for coming into this interview and talking to me about images. I know it can be very difficult, especially what you've seen and heard. But thank you for sharing it with me.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.